Briefly, I want you to find a rolled blanket, or if you have a block at your home, at your house, get that and place it between your thighs. And again, this is all just a reminder from what we did last week. So with something between your thighs, having your feet slightly apart, have the outer edges of the feet even with each other. So instead of having the toes turned out, make sure that the outer edges of the feet are more even. Your heels might be a little farther away, and I know that your left foot is a little bit less cooperative. Make sure, really look down at the feet and make sure that the outer edges of both feet are even with each other. And then from there, I want you to lift the kneecaps up, firm the kneecaps, firm the thighs, firm the quadriceps. And as we were talking about, get the feeling like you're trying to roll the block towards the roll towards the wall behind you. You want to get the quadriceps to be firm and roll towards each other. I'm turning to the side so you can see. And get the hamstrings to go away from each other so that the roll, the block, whatever it may be, begins to roll towards the back of the room, towards the wall behind you. And then from there, keeping the legs straight, take the tops of the buttocks to the floor. So it's those two actions, again, to help stabilize the hips, straighten out the legs, kneecaps should be lifting. Firm the quadriceps, so you should feel the backs of the knees open. Squeeze a little bit into the block, roll the quadriceps, feel the thighs turning towards each other. Try to get the hamstrings to spread a little bit away from each other. And feel the very, very lower back, or where the tops of the buttocks, feel that area go directly towards the floor, towards the heels. So the legs are firm and straight. The hips are much more stable. And again, hopefully, your legs are working more evenly. Tops of the buttocks or towards the floor, or tailbone away from the wall as the thighs push towards the wall. These are different phrases, different language for a similar instruction. Another way of thinking about it is keep the thighs pushing back, but take the navel towards the spine. So that's the work of the legs, and you want to maintain this. And then you can add the block, you can keep it if you're not, or otherwise not. Once again, be at the wall, have your buttocks touching the wall, have your upper back chest touching the wall. And if you remember, I was pushing my hands into the tops of your shoulders to get the sense of space. And you can see already, as soon as I did that, what happens is that external rotation of the arms that we were talking about. The internal rotation of the thighs, of the legs, external rotation of the arms. So again, straighten out the legs. Thighs towards each other, take the tops of the buttocks flush down, lift the chest, and try to get your outer shoulders to go more towards the wall. Feel the collarbones lift and go slightly away from each other, and feel the shoulder blades descend and go slightly towards each other. You don't want your head to come forward as you're doing this. So you can even try, not by taking the head back, but by taking the chin back more towards the wall. So the head is more level over the shoulders. So again, as you're standing here, just this pose is just Tadasana, but it can be fairly a bit of work. Once again, from the base of the pose, straighten out the legs. Make sure that the outer edges of the feet are parallel with each other. Lift the kneecaps up, firm the thighs, and roll. Feel the quadriceps move a little towards each other. Feel the hamstrings go a little bit away from each other. From there, tuck the tailbone forward, take the tops of the buttocks to the floor, and you'll feel the navel goes in towards the spine. You'll feel the front and back chest get a little bit lighter. Keep the front chest lifting, let the tops of the shoulders release down the back, and again, get those outer shoulders to touch the wall. There's that external rotation. For a moment, you can even turn the palms facing forward or even out, so you feel the outer shoulders reaching towards the wall. Keep the arms the way they are, just turn the hands in. Again, back to the legs, straight, buttocks flesh down. Tailbone away from the wall. Navel towards the spine, towards the wall. Keep the chest lifting. Ask again, the tops of the shoulders. I talked about this too, the C7 vertebrae, between where the thoracic and the cervical spine meet. And we want to try to get that area right where the cervical spine meets the thoracic spine, the neck part of the spine meets the chest part of the spine. That area goes down instead of up. Instead of like this, ask that point of the shoulder blades to really descend towards the floor. So we worked quite a bit on this, and then quite frankly, if you do this for just as long as this video is, maybe once or twice a day, you'll definitely notice changes in your posture. We're going to continue again with all this stuff: legs straight, kneecaps lifting, firm the buttocks flush, take them towards the floor, take the outer shoulders towards the wall. This time, take your arms up. If you can remember, take your arms towards the ceiling. Again, lift the chest but drop the shoulders. Soften the shoulders, soften the face, but keep the legs straight. You take the arms back down and release. So those were that was a lot of what we worked on just in doing that stuff against the wall. The one pose that we did do a little bit was triangle pose, same thing at the wall. And my stance is going to be fairly narrow, and that's fine. Yours will be too. That's okay. You're going to have your back against the wall. The feet are a little bit away from the wall. You're going to turn your left toes in a little bit, left foot in a little bit, and turn your whole right leg out. Again, both legs are straight. This time there's what's called external rotation of that front leg thigh, of your right thigh. And just take your right hand to your knee, left hand to your waist. Now the goal here is, instead of falling forward as you come into the pose, is to go laterally. Keep both legs straight and try to keep this top part of the chest closer to the wall as you slide your hand a little bit down towards the near shin. So instead of falling forward or trying to get very deep, the hips are a little bit wider, the legs are straight, and you're keeping the chest a little bit more open towards the ceiling as you come up, as you go into the pose. You can even, if you want to, take that top arm up, back down. Just go to the other side. Turn your right toes in, turn your left leg out. And again, both legs are straight, and this left thigh should roll more towards the wall. You should feel your left buttock touching the wall. And all you have to do is just take your hand to the knee. And it's the same idea. Instead of the chest falling forward, lean into the wall. Keep the chest opening sort of towards the wall, towards the ceiling, as you take the hand a little farther down on your knee or shin. And then from there, just take the arm up. Same idea. Try to keep the chest open. The wall is doing its job of pushing your front leg thigh more underneath you, which is what you want. And then come out. Again, you can bend that front leg. I would recommend doing this twice. We'll do it twice. Same idea. Legs straight, kneecaps are firm, the thighs are lifting. The legs are quite active, even though they're not doing too much. Take your right hand to the near shin and try to keep your left chest going towards the wall as you slide the hand down. Both legs stay straight. Take your left arm up, and then carefully come on back up. Same thing, final side. Hand to the near shin, both legs straight. And again, you want to keep the chest open. So your top shoulder is going towards the wall, even though your hand is going towards the near shin. Keep the chest open. And then back on up. Feet parallel. Just walk them together. Back to Tadasana. Feet slightly apart. Outer edges of the feet even. Straighten the legs. The kneecaps are lifting. The quadriceps are firm. Take the buttocks flush to the floor, lift the chest, roll the outer shoulders towards the wall. Get the feeling of the collarbones lifting, straighten out the arms, take the biceps away from each other. You can even turn, again, the palms out a little bit. Legs straight, take the chin slightly back. So again, ask that C7 vertebrae to go down, away from the base of the skull. Release. And that's it for the standing stuff. So bed yoga. You don't quite want to get up, you're not in a rush, you got a little time to get the hips a little loose. Here's some things you can do. For starters, just one at a time. Bend the legs close to the chest. Alternate. Just one at a time, each leg. Soften up the hips. Try to bend the knees fairly deeply. And then after you've done that, you can do both at the same time. Hug the legs. Wrap your arms around your shins if you can. Legs close to the chest. And then finally, you can try to do sort of a happy baby's pose, right? Feet towards the ceiling, knees towards the floor. Release. Another really good one is just lying here with your legs bent, your feet on the floor, a little bit apart, and just letting both legs fall to one side. Gently. Let them just release to the right, then come back up and release to the left. And back on up, release to the right. You can do this a few times to just sort of, again, soften up the hips, get them ready for the day. And then finally, you can do butterfly pose. And the truth is, none of these, there's no real sequence. You can do any one of these poses in any order. It doesn't matter so much. Something that feels good, but then just hang out in butterfly pose for a bit before you get out of bed. It helps to use your arms to bring the legs together. Roll the side, feet on the floor. Start your day.